Welcome to Softcore History.
Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. My name is Jake Goldman, back from a long trip from Florida. I'm joined as always by my two co-hosts, Rob Fox and Dan Regester, who mocked my situation last week.
Yeah.
Mahalo, Dan.
Mahalo,
Jake.
You had to leave for some reason?
I don't think death's enough to miss a podcast.
You know, it's funny. You guys actually...
I'm not going to miss it for a birth.
That says more about you than me.
We're also not scheduling around your baby.
Yeah.
I know you're not.
Right.
I have to work for the birth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, you're
We'll
like,
come
can
to
we
the
move the recording to 7
we'll come to the
p.m.?
hospital. We'll
That's
come to
fine.
the room to record.
We'll
That's
just stick a mic in your face and the babies.
That's fine.
Special guest Courtney.
I'll show you pictures of the first birth to give you an idea of what's going to happen.
Oh, that's fine.
If that does line up, though, Courtney has to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just calling us
Should be there.
assholes. Yeah, I can't wait for Courtney Jr. to be born.
That is
CJ.
the baby's name. Yeah, that's
Courtney Jr.
It's a boy.
Yeah.
I will say, though, you mocked my wife for having a living grandparent. All of my grandparents are alive.
That's
Grow
selfish.
up.
Yeah.
Grow up.
They're all old.
Be a fucking adult.
Yeah.
Jake.
Oh, yeah. They're all old. All my grandparents were old, too, when they died a decade or more ago.
Here's the thing, though. People
your
that
fault for
live in
being old.
tropical climates, they just live forever.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Especially for Floridians. We've
In
already
fact-
addressed this.
in fact,
the moisture
Yeah.
keeps us going.
the climate I grew up in helped kill one of my grandparents.
Everyone in Hawaii, like literally I come across all these 50, 55-year-olds, not a day older than 35.
Yeah,
So anyone
they
that
have
talks
no
about,
worries.
oh,
You
your
know
son ages you, bullshit.
Do you know the opposite of that state is Nevada? Everyone that's 35 looks 60.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy.
But that's because they're all chain smokers and they're playing slots all day. They're not
Yeah.
actually in the sun.
Right.
That's what you get when you stare into the abyss, and the abyss happens to be a slot machine.
Yeah, you live in the abyss, essentially.
You
There
live
are
in
no
Kitty.
windows
in Hawaii.
in casinos.
No, of course not. You don't know what time it is.
No.
All you know is the gin and tonics are free.
Yeah. And plus, what are you doing outside in Nevada?
You shouldn't be
There's no
there.
You on your
reason.
fucking dirt bike?
Unless you're like on the shore of Lake Tahoe and you got a nice breeze. You shouldn't be anywhere outside.
I moved across the strip and the pools I was in Nevada the way a scorpion moves across the desert, just from shade to shade. Just like that.
Yeah. Well,
Just scuttled from place to place.
Yeah, pool parties are terrible.
They're awful. And you look like you'd thrive there.
Yeah, I was about to say you are right
Well,
now, especially.
I'm gonna
At any time, but especially now.
especially right now.
Good Lord.
I might only dress in cabana sets.
You should. That should be your thing.
It's the
man.
vibe now.
That should be your third New Year's resolution.
Very happy to come back and it's 70 degrees in Austin.
If you want to
Just
hear,
completely missed the cold front.
hold that thought. If you want to hear Dan's first two New Year's resolutions, I would implore you to go to patreon.com/softcorehistory. Get on our Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Someone won money, by the way, from joining.
I actually just posted the Patreon that was supposed to go
And the
out
winner
last
is
week.
announced inside of that Patreon
Inside
episode.
of the episode.
What minute? Just at least give them the timestamp so they can.
I don't know it.
You got to listen, buddy.
No, I'll actually post just the video on the Patreon for the next.
Okay.
I will, in between the two episodes, I will post
Post
the
it
winner.
tonight so the poor bastard
Tonight,
can
yeah.
find out.
And email
You need to
your.
get your Venmo.
But we did
email-
draw it. And by the way, the funniest part is spoiler alert. Now this is the second name we drew.
I saw the first one.
Yeah. So the first name was accidentally the girl I went to Hawaii with.
I was just paying for your trip, bro.
I'm like, can't do that. I did promise though, if I pulled Jared's name, our friend Jared Borslow's name out first, he would get my portion.
Okay.
So thankfully I didn't do that. But
There were a couple like homies I was hoping would get picked that we could actually give
I don't
it
know
to.
why I added them to the hat. It was pretty stupid of my
I was
part.
about to say,
Right.
didn't you cut out all the
He
names?
did. He by hand cut out all the names.
You didn't even go
He
to like
saw it and was just like, yeah.
you didn't even go to like a Kinko's and get like the lever scissor or whatever.
No.
No, I think he did it here with a
It was
knife.
just easier to like print out all the names at once.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't sort them all out because obviously if you were a Patreon for more than a month, you have more entries. So like if you're a Patreon, Jared literally had like, I don't know, however many, 8, 9 entries.
Yeah.
Well, because Jared's a homie.
Yeah.
And he holds it down. But you know, sometimes your homies die. That's what we're gonna learn about today, guys.
Oh, that's true. I had a couple people from my 8th grade class kill themselves.
I've had a bunch of friends like overdose on heroin. Yeah,
I had some friends die from the fraternity.
pretty sick. Actually,
right when I moved out here, actually, it sucked. Actually, I have a
Probably because you left. In,
Yeah,
in an alternate universe, they're alive.
what's the weirdest death?
for someone I know.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not gonna say the kid's name or anything like that. He's a pledge brother of mine.
No, do you coward?
No, he deserves this, but
The death or
Yeah, he
no,
die.
he deserves not to be named.
Oh, okay.
He's a good guy, and he
Usually are.
He was
Good Diane.
It's a really sad story. Do you really want to hear it?
Yeah, I want the saddest story possible.
I think, by the way, mine might.
He
top
was
it?
no,
I
it
think
doesn't.
I got you.
Okay.
He was recently engaged, and he was eating dinner alone at his house and choked to death.
Hell yeah.
Good Lord.
He almost pulled a George W.
Yeah,
Or I
pledge
guess
brother of mine.
That is
George
insane.
W. almost pulled him.
Yeah, not a fun thing. I felt,
What'd he choke on?
Dude, don't make fun of it. Come on.
Okay. Well, I had a friend go to trade school to be an electrician. She got shocked to death at school.
No shit at school.
At school.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I had this girl I knew, super nice girl, in college or whatever. This is right after college, very shortly after college. This is easily the most bizarre death I know. Was out four-wheeling or whatever.
Yeah,
But it was one of those four wheels with like a
cage over
cage
it,
over it?
like a gator.
a gator or something like that. She hit like a hill, like a little upward hill, whatever. Fell off of it somehow, and the cage like broke her neck. Like, fell on her and broke her neck.
Okay. Not
Yeah.
decapitated?
Not decapitated, just
Yeah, we had a fraternity brother, not anyone I was close with, but they were hammered, I think, driving around in a gator, and he got thrown from it, and then he survived it.
yeah.
But I guess like during the injury, he was drinking a lot when he was on antibiotics, and so it canceled out the antibiotics, and he died from it.
So alcohol.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No. It's like, dude, just don't. They give you pills
Right.
to take for this.
They get you more fucked up.
Yeah, like just chill, bro.
Ugh.
Well, anyway, we got a lot of grim realities. That
What
we're
a great way to start the show, though.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, baby!
Well, yeah, I got more stories. No.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to talk
Plenty of
about
friends
more of
have
our
died. Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone's got dead friends. But
Well, do they?
I don't know. Like,
You don't even have dead grandparents.
Yeah.
yeah, they're my friends though.
Let's
But,
compare scar tissue. Let's go.
Yeah, this will be a great episode.
I will say, I would be shocked if any of you have been to a worse funeral than I have been to. Shocked. I think I've told this story on the podcast before, though.
Was
So
it
I
broke neck girl with an open casket?
Yeah, I was going to say
Jesus
open
Christ.
casket with no head.
No, it wasn't that one. It was more just like teenage funeral, mother like on the casket screaming.
Oh, you told us about
I told
this.
that story. Yeah,
you did.
There's no way anyone's been. And the three of us been a worse funeral.
Well, I
than
went to a funeral where the mother was also in the casket next to him.
that. Sounds quiet.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. We're starting off with a bang. 2023, baby. All right. So, you remember that Dyatlov Pass incident?
Yeah.
No.
There's-
Remind the audience at home because that's like a fucking OG episode.
That is an OG
It's
episode.
an early one.
That's
yeah.
before we even had like professional equipment to
A
record.
bunch of
on.
hikers in Russia die from weird circumstances.
Yeah, some people think it's like UFOs or Yetis, whatever the fuck.
There's a spiritual sequel.
Okay,
Okay. Where though?
The Kamar Daban incident, also in Russia.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, if there's
Kamar
ever,
Daban, this sounds like more the Asian side of
it's
Russia.
Siberia.
Okay.
we cover a lot of Russian incidents.
I cover a lot of Russia.
We do Russia a lot.
We
Well,
do.
I did like a general history of
Yeah.
Russia being incompetent.
Oh, actually, that's one of the better episodes. Just go back and listen to Always the Bridesmaid, Russia.
Russia, the bridesmaid of Europe, I believe.
Yeah.
And I will actually have a sequel to that. I already have the episode subject matter, thanks to Houston Hamilton, listener and buddy who DMs me all the time. He sent me like a book that I'm going to check out. But I'm going to do a episode on it. However, I'm going to save that for the 1-year anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine because it has something to do with that.
Oh,
Just
cool.
like the
it also has
bridesmaid
a
of
special
Europe.
place in your heart.
It does.
Rob hates Ukraine.
I do.
I
Yeah.
went out with a random couple, one of which was from The wife was from Kiev,
Okay.
and then the
Kiev?
husband was from Afghanistan.
Do you like how like
All the war torn. It's Kiev, man. Come on.
Do you like how the news gaslit us into thinking it's Kiev?
You can
It's
really
Kiev.
convince us.
It's like, oh, we've been pronouncing it wrong. I don't care. If you pronounce something wrong long enough, you've pronounced it right.
Yeah. Sorry.
And that's just how all languages work.
Correct.
Yes.
It's water.
This is water.
Yeah.
Super Mario.
That's how what's his name? Infinite Chess guy.
What?
Who wrote Infinite Chess?
I can't remember my head. David something? David Foster?
David Foster Wallace. Yeah.
David Foster Wallace, yeah.
This is water.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so the Dyatlov Pass incident was not the only mysterious hiker death to grace the Soviet Union in Siberia or the Ural Mountains. The Kamar-Duban mountain range in southern Siberia is a popular tourist hiking spot.
But hold on. The Dyatlov Pass was on the eastern side of Russia, right?
More western, I believe.
And that was what, 40s?
I don't know. I'm not
30s,
an
40s?
expert. No. Dyatlov
I think
Pass
the
is
Ural-
Mountains.
The Ural Mountains are what essentially like separates European Russia from Asian Russia, if I'm not.
Right. So this would be further east. You
No.
meant to say west.
Yes, I meant to say west. Sorry.
Yeah, Ural Mountains are further west.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, around what time frame?
Actually, the reason I'm doing this is because it's a clean 30 years ago
Okay.
for this one.
So 1993.
93.
Sick.
Yeah. No, I was going to do this last year, but I was like, man, not enough time yet. But this one's good. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
So it's a popular mountain range to hike in Siberia. It's got similarly rugged scenery like the Dyatlov Pass in the Ural Mountains. In 1993, 7 tourists would venture into the Kamar-Duban
So
range.
is it like they always say in the United States, you've got 2 mountain ranges, right? You've got the Appalachians, which are the older mountain range, the more
better-
rounded, they're
The
weathered.
better ones. Yeah.
Sure. And the Rockies, which are
There's
more
3 mountain
jagged,
ranges.
with the Sierra Nevada,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. They're
No,
basically,
it's the Rockies and the Appalachians.
I mean, those are the two Sierra Nevada's not as big.
No, sure, but it's still a mountain range.
Yeah, there's lots of smaller mountain ranges, but like,
We're talking about the big boys, all right?
it's the Rockies and the Appalachians are the 2 long mountain ranges.
Actually, you want to know something funny about the Appalachians?
What?
Older than bones. So the Appalachian Mountains were formed before vertebrates had bones.
Damn.
It's weird
So
that the mountains have bones.
The
you know?
caves, they were like exploring like one of the oldest caves, and they're like, "There's no fossils in here." It's like because it formed before bones had formed in animals.
Sick.
It's older than bones.
Nice.
That's insane.
Let's go. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
so but the
most of
Rockies are the
Earth
newer.
older than bones.
The Rockies did not form before bones.
Yeah.
That's why they're higher. So the Appalachians are older. That's why they're lower. They're
and
separated.
weathered and rounded.
Yeah.
Any jagged mountain ranges, big mountain ranges are newer.
Yeah.
So old money mountains are.
Yeah, Appalachia.
Yeah, they're unassuming, but it's like you got history. You got
Yeah.
a lot of it.
I respect you more.
Yeah. It's like you drive a 98 Ford Explorer. Why?
Rockies are the Bitcoin of money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Appalachians are
SPF.
the Warren Buffetts of mountains.
No, that's even Warren Buffett's new money. Appalachia, they're Vanderbilts. They're
They're the Rothschilds that subvert time
Yeah.
and space.
Yes.
Listen to the Patreon. Anyway.
In fact, the Appalachian Mountains are the spinal cord of the Rothschild crocodile that lives beneath.
Underneath.
Yeah.
It's an alligator.
Thirst crust.
alligators.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, though? I'm sorry.
No, that was it. Just lizard stuff, Jews.
Class.
Yes, whatever.
In 1993, 7 tourists would venture into the Kamar-Duban range, but 6 would not make it out
But
of the
why?
mountains alive.
Why are they going here?
The story of the event leading to the 6 hikers' demise is so grim and disturbing that the lone survivor has refused to speak on the matter since her initial statement to police.
Do people have like aspirations to visit Siberia?
I think they just live there.
Do you know who visits Siberia a lot?
Criminals.
Yeah, slaves.
North Korean slaves. Russia rents out a lot of North Korean prisoners.
For hard labor.
Yeah.
What do you do in Siberia though? What are you breaking? What kind of for what purpose?
You make smaller rocks.
Yeah, I don't really know what. I don't think
You're
it's
not
like an.
building
I don't think there's like an
anything.
oil
It's timber.
situation there.
It's
Is it timber?
timber.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
timber.
Aren't they trying to like unearth mammoths or something?
No, they already did. We're gonna clone a mammoth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
trying to
happen.
clone the mammoth to save the world.
No, it was just a Jurassic Park
Just 'cause,
situation.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mammoth Park.
Well,
It's
I
just-
was
they
at
just
a
wanna-
lot of places where they filmed Jurassic Park, so
No, you weren't.
I was.
Were you?
You were where they filmed Lost, dude.
Yeah.
Grow
Lost
up.
and Jurassic
They film on
Park.
Kauai, mostly.
Yeah.
Oahu, too.
Okay.
Same state. Of course, as always with Soviet Russian tales of horror, we are going to get some facts.
Well, this isn't Soviet.
this is
93?
oh,
Nope.
it's just post-Soviet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm wrong in my writing. Sorry. Of course, with Russian tales of horror,
This is a post-Pizza Hut commercial Russia.
Gorbachev.
Yeah,
This might be at the same time as
Oh, man.
Gorbachev, actually.
that was the lowest. No, this would be our boy.
Oh, Yeltsin. This is
Yeah.
Yeltsin. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, this is Yeltsin. We're going to get some facts, some speculation, and some straight up weird. Today, we will be discussing the time frame and theories to the best of our ability, and then I'm going to let you guys decide from there
Okay.
what happened. What do you think actually happened?
Choose your own adventure.
And it's all sad. That's
Sick.
how Russian choose your
Love
own
that.
adventures are.
Yeah, no, all Russian stories are tragedies.
Yeah, that's why we've considered Russian history, and we've talked about how Putin's not that bad for them.
He's not.
For
For
them?
them,
All things considered, they're
for the
like,
world,
fine with it,
trash. For them, not that bad.
Yeah, they always say on Drinking Bros stuff like that, like you get the government you pick or whatever like that, or you deserve or whatever. Like they have the government they deserve.
They don't deserve happiness.
They don't want it.
They don't.
They don't
They
want
pride
it.
themselves in not having it.
Yeah, it is to the point where they actually, I think they're quite prideful in their morose sort of lives.
And I
I'm
kinda-
sorry, but what is the best conversation at a work party? Commiserating.
Right. And
Yeah.
I kind of connect with Russians being a Northeastern guy.
It's the same thing.
Oh, also, I shared my family's immigration paperwork with y'all. I am very Russian.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Subjects of the Tsar.
All right, Joe.
When did you come?
Yeah.
1894.
Whew, right in time.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We left because of the things.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
pogroms-
revolution in like 95 or 96. There was a revolution against because the Tsar that was killed, Nicholas II, he took power right around then. I think it was 95.
Yeah, we were the.
But his dad was an authoritarian, like full-on authoritarian. And the Nicholas, the one who was eventually killed, he tried to be more of a little bit more of a reformer, I think, but still was kind of hardline monarchist.
Mm-hmm.
Like tried to be softer on the people, but was still a hardline. Like, no, we need a monarchy.
with Tsarism.
But his dad was like a fucking
And then
lunatic.
Lenin was, what, 1918?
Lenin, no, 17 is when the revolution happened, I think, and he was probably fully in power by like 19, I think.
Yeah, I could be just posted
I
up
think-
outside of a Russian Safeway in my tracksuit right now.
You could be.
Yeah, it's pretty
They
crazy.
do have great style.
Great rap.
Some of the best.
So we're going to go through the timeline of the events right now, and it gets dark quick, but it won't right away.
I mean, a vacation to Siberia should only be dark.
And also, when it involves, foreigners, I'm kind of disconnected.
Can't relate.
Yeah. You're not talking about Americans, so.
Yeah, it's only bad when they're in like
Yeah, it's like when you see like a live leak. If you see like a live leak video of somebody getting decapitated, it's an American. You're like, ooh.
Right. If it happens
In
yeah,
India, I
it's-
don't connect to the person.
I'm like,
no.
well, I'm more just like, well, that's India.
Yeah.
Like if it happened in Indiana, I'd be like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my God.
But then like someone
only
gets
in Mumbai.
decapitated by like a tiger in India.
They're like, well,
I'm like, oh, well,
that's, you live in
kinda what you
India.
asked for, yeah.
India stuff happens to you.
So Ludmila Korovina was an experienced hiking instructor and survivalist labeled as a master by her peers and students in Russia. At 41 years old, she pushed her students hard, and for good reason. The terrains that her students faced presented an abundance of challenge. From drastic weather shifts to swings in temperature, being on your game could make the difference in surviving catastrophe in the mountains.
Okay, so these people wanted to maybe die.
No, she led a instruction course on she was
But the thing is, though, they wanted to face death,
Yeah, they wanted to hike big mountains and climb mountains,
which
and
is
things like
you get up high enough on a mountain and civilization's gone.
that. Yeah, you're on a
It's
mountain.
gone. You're alone.
So-
There is nothing but
This is kind of like I don't know if this is necessarily true, but it seems like from the way the story is told, this is kind of like a classification class almost. Like it's like if you do this, you've kind of made it into this hiking community.
Mhm.
Like this is your initiation, into it.
There's like a similar thing, I think, with whitewater rapid people, where it's like
Yeah.
if you make it through certain rapids, you are elite. Also, every rapid is a class 6 until someone makes it through.
Yeah, is this more of a Bear Grylls class or like a Survivor Man class?
It's kind of one just like a hike, like endurance hiking class, but also it is a foraging class too, and that'll come up later.
Like, do they just have bags of Doritos in their bags?
No, but yeah, what it's asking is like a rich guy class.
No, I think it's like truly like
it's not fantasy camp.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's not fantasy camp.
Which is what Everest is, by the way, at this point.
Oh yeah, you mean fucking not yogis.
Yeah, you want to do
Sherpas?
Everest?
Yeah.
Let's do Everest then.
Yeah,
do
anyone
it.
can do that shit.
Anyone?
Anyone can do
Anyone.
that shit. Anyone, except for the people
Okay,
that are
let's
the
do
yeah,
do it, boys.
me and you.
All of us. Let's see
Mile
what makes
markers.
us.
I feel fine
You
with
gotta
that.
train for it, but like, come on, who can't? Except for all the
I don't
dead
think
people
you
that
can
are
do
the
it.
mile markers on the mountain now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you are gonna be one of those bones.
No, I feel fine.
I would crush being Bones. I'm gonna be Bones more than I'm
Well,
not,
you wouldn't
man.
be Bones. You'd be a frozen body.
Actually, that's sad. I want to be Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would be.
I don't want to be like a guy in a Patagonia jacket. On
You
a
would be
mountain
Walt
forever.
Disney on the mountain.
I don't want to be him.
I don't know. Seems easy. How many people actually die? How many people have died on Everest in the last, call it 15 years?
A
That's
lot.
more than you think.
Yeah,
I think
actually,
it's less
Have
than
you
you
seen
think.
the videos?
And I don't mean how many people number wise. I mean percentage. I want rate stats.
Oh, that's a good question. Have you seen the videos of people trying to get to summit where it's a line? There's a line
Yeah.
to the top of Mount
A
Everest.
tourist line.
That's
Like it's a Disney ride.
that's our world. There is a line
Well,
Yeah.
to the
soon
top
to
of
be-
the highest peak on Earth.
Soon to be elevator.
Probably. Why not?
Can't you just take a chopper up there?
Yeah, you could.
Why wouldn't you just do that?
Does the weather allow that?
I don't know.
On certain days.
If anything, I trust me walking up the goddamn mountain
Over
more
the
than
chopper?
the
Fuck
helicopter.
choppers.
Yeah.
You
I told
wanna
you not
play
to take
it
a
up?
chopper in Hawaii,
Oh, I
right?
didn't do it.
Yeah, never take
I'm
it.
never getting on a helicopter
If I can avoid it, yeah,
ever.
And if
ever.
I'm gonna get on a helicopter, I'm gonna mow down some hogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I better have a gun so I can take myself out before impact.
You just turn the minigun on yourself. You just wheel it all the way around. Like,
Whoop.
Yeah.
Okay. They described, God, I got to reread her name. They described Ludmila as being a good teacher and that she taught them confidence and crucial hiking skills. In the summer of 93, Ludmila had planned to hike with 6 of her students to the Kamar Daban mountain range. She was very experienced in the area, which was a popular tourist spot once again, and considered a very safe place to do this kind of hike, especially in the summer. So this is in the summer, not the winter.
all right.
Her students had
Is there
trained.
even how snowy are the mountains in the summer?
Do you think I know that? Do you think I know?
I think you should.
Oh, for the content? Fuck that. Her students had trained with her for the trip. She was very close to all of them. I'm going to list through the names now. They're all very young.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So there's 23-year-old Sasha Kreisen,
Oh, all right.
24-year-old Tatiana Filipenko, 19-year-old Denise Shrevakin, 17-year-old Valya Udachenko, 16-year-old Victoria Zaleslova, and 15-year-old Timur Bapanov. So
Why? Like, a lot of kids, they're super young.
yeah, no, it's not like a hardcore it's hardcore. It's for people that want to do it, but it's not like
It
inaccessible.
sounds like, so in Boy Scouts back in the day, like if you were like 15, 16, 17 years old, you could do like a horseback ride across the like New Mexico desert.
Really? I never made it that far. I only got to Cub Scouts.
I did
I
box.
said you could. I didn't do it either. Oh, I was a Life Scout, but
Pine Derby.
I made it to Cub Scouts because I spent so much goddamn time on my Pinewood Derby car, and somebody
someone
literally
always killed you.
Somebody just put their fucking block on wheels
And it works.
and destroyed everyone because it weighed more.
I made a school bus. They paint it like a bus.
They didn't paint it, man. They just put it on wheels.
Dude,
It's destroyed.
losing in the Pinewood Derby every year was so dispiriting.
My dad.
Getting crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean because the South Park episode is perfect. Dads cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I connected with my uncle for the first time making our Pinewood Derby car. It's the only time I ever talked to him. I haven't talked to him since.
The Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
What?
I was at my grandparents' shore house, and for whatever reason, we were just kind of carving the Pinewood Derby car, and that was the only time I ever interacted with them.
Yeah, the dumbest thing is, and I guess me and my dad did this, which was stupid. They'd be like, "Well, we got to make it aerodynamic or something." It's like,
Dumb.
no, leave all the weight on it.
Wait.
Yeah,
It's on a slope.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a block, drill wheels into
It
it.
should, if
That's
anything,
what
make
they
a
did.
wedge.
Yeah,
Like, if you want to make it aerodynamic. I remember a kid, like, perfectly contoured his, and I was like, you're 8. Your dad did this.
yeah. Oh, there were some cars, man.
Where you're like,
Where-
this is a Batmobile. Fuck
right,
you.
like you fucking tool. Like you just sat there and watched your dad do it. And
That's why I quit Cub Scouts, is because every single activity, like soap carving. Do you remember soap carving?
we didn't do that.
Also, I was not really into outdoor shit as a kid. I wish I was, because my dad, like, he was a hunter, he was a fisher. He would always try to take me, and I just didn't care.
I wasn't very outdoorsy either, but I don't know. It was all my friends were there, and my dad would let me like smoke cigars a couple nights a week
Okay.
at camp. So
That's fun.
yeah,
That's cool.
gets you good buzz when you're in 7th
Yeah.
grade.
Oh, did you
Getting
sneak
up
a
at
couple?
5 in the morning though.
No, not
couple
sneak.
bucks?
He gave them to me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
my dad was
That's
like,
it.
"Yeah, you can have cigars
Getting
around
up at
the
like
woods."
5
Fuck
in
it.
the morning though, like December morning, to go deer hunting in a tree stand at 12 degrees. No, thank you.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Fucking the worst.
Winter
Like-
camp outs.
We got a lot of story, guys.
Just make deer season in the summer. That's all I ask.
That's fair.
So on August 2nd, 1993, the group of 7 arrived at the mountain range in the town of Merino, excited for their journey into the mountains. The weather forecast promised them clear, sunny skies. Didn't happen. Ludmila and her students were one of 3 hiking groups in the area, one of which was being led by Ludmila's daughter, Natalia. Their 2 groups had plans to meet up on August 5th when their hiking routes would cross paths. Now, this is an important
So this
note.
is like a family business.
Yeah, they're all in on it. This is an important note too. All the people in this hiking group are extremely close and friends. Like,
In Ludmila's.
yeah, they've been training for months, some of them years, for some of these hikes. So Sasha Creason had actually known Ludmila almost his entire life. They were like family friends. This was sort of a graduation. They were all skilled and ready to like put their skills to the test on this hike. The first 2 days of the hike went better than planned. The group made extremely good time up a peak that I'm not going to even try to pronounce.
Yeah, whatever.
Pushing themselves really hard. By August 4th,
Do it in your best Russian accent.
Retranslator?
Just have some confidence, damn it.
Retranslator.
The key to pronouncing, I don't know Russian, but French, and my uncle who speaks very fluent French and had married a French woman told me this, is just leave the last half of the word off.
Retranslator.
So I think with Russian, it's just rush through it as much as you can.
So is French gay Russian?
It's just gay.
Yeah.
Pushing them. So they push themselves hard up this peak. I don't give a shit. By August 4th, however, as they were beginning their descent down the peak, the weather forecast proved to have been wrong, and they were hit with a rainstorm. With the hikers' supplies soaked, their journey was slowed down by the added weight. Since the hikers were exhausted, Ludmila decided to camp out hastily in an exposed location, despite there being tree cover not far away, but too far for her to decide to like keep pushing.
What does that mean? What's that distance?
It's probably
12
a couple.
feet.
It's probably a couple kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she didn't think they could make it like another mile?
Probably another 3 or 4. Probably like truly like probably another 5K, so like 3 miles.
Okay.
She's like, they're pretty beat. Like,
Yeah.
let's chill it out.
Also,
Let's just-
especially when you're out there, like depth perception could be.
well, especially with the mountains and
Crazy.
stuff. Yeah, because like you can see a mountain from 50 miles away.
I accidentally hiked 12 miles this weekend on one day.
Oh, I saw your story.
Going
Yeah.
to the beach, yeah. We went to the North Shore, and we went around this mountain, and we parked on the wrong side of the mountain to go to the beach.
So did you walk 24 miles?
Well, 7 miles there and like however many miles back.
So 14.
So it was a little over 12.
Okay.
Because it was 7 miles there.
Well, because we went kind of a
shitty
roundabout
way.
way.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
yeah.
You took a bad path.
More efficient on the way back.
Okay.
But yeah, there was no reason to do that because on the other side by the beach there was a parking lot. So we could have just drove to the beach.
That's brutal.
But
Yeah.
you got some exercise.
Got some cardio. Right?
Yeah.
That was great, yeah. We didn't bring enough water.
That's always the worst. It's like, God, dude, Katie and I went on like a dog trail that was a couple miles, and we realized we didn't bring water. It was still hot out.
So I went.
Dude, that shit.
The girl I went with, we ran
Makes you
into some
miserable.
fishermen, and I had to whore her out.
You did what? Prostitute her?
She'd be a prostitute.
She did
for
some
water.
Firefest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dude, there was. Do you remember that story of that family that died on a hike? It was like a young couple. They're like fucking like 8-month-old and a dog.
They just didn't bring water.
Basically, it was too hot, and they like sat down for a while and then all died or something. There, people were like, "How could this happen? Like, did a gas? Was there like a mine underneath them and
No,
a
they were
gas line
stupid.
opened up, or like a lightning strike?" And it was like, no, they just wandered out into the desert
Yeah.
with their baby and their dog,
Well,
being like, "Wee,
Nature people, man.
we're gonna hike."
you don't even have to be a nature person. Every old, like anyone over the age of 70 in Arizona, if you get locked out of your house, you're toast.
You're dead. You're a dead
so
person.
dead. It's like your shoes melt
Yeah.
to the driveway
It's
and
like,
then you fall over and die.
It's like if a vampire gets locked out before sunrise. You know what I mean? That's if you get locked out before sunset.
And God forbid you fall and break a hip on the sidewalk.
You're just an
You just
egg.
fry like an egg.
Yeah.
Guys, great parallel content to what we're going to talk about here. So the group was unable to build a fire the night they set up camp, but were still in good spirits because the next morning an attempt at fire building was successful, and they ate breakfast together
They had a
before
solid
heading out for
breakfast.
the day. They had a good breakfast.
A good brunch could really
So-
bring it together.
All in all, they're fine, even though they were wet and soaking and things like that.
They've
They
got.
had a good day.
Wait, how are they still wet and soaked? Is it still raining?
It must have cleared. No, they're still wet, and so it's still cold. They're in the mountains.
Okay, but they can't. They leave stuff out to dry and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but they couldn't build a fire, and it was raining all night.
okay, but they. Why not just chill in the morning and let your shit hang out and dry?
I'm sure they set the fire, and then that happened.
Okay.
But they're still wet. Like, they're
All right,
still eating
yeah.
breakfast and stuff, but they're in good spirits. Later that day, Natalia and her group, which is Ludmia's daughter, made it to the meeting spot, but her mother never showed up. The group moved on, and she was not worried about her mother, assuming that the
She's
bad
a
weather
pro.
had put her back.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, what had set the group back was much worse than she could ever imagine.
aliens.
The rest of the story is going to be an account from the lone survivor, 17-year-old Valya Utachenko.
Okay.
According to Valya, the group set off down the mountain after eating breakfast that morning. But after only a few minutes, the first disaster struck. Sasha, the oldest and most seasoned member of the expedition, outside of the instructor Ludmila, the one that knew Ludmila for a very long time.
Yeah.
He was at the back of the group. He started screaming, like guttural screaming.
Violently, like
Yeah.
I'm being mauled by a bear.
Yeah,
Screaming.
like I'm dying.
Yeah.
When everyone turned, they saw he was bleeding from his eyes and ears and frothing at the mouth. He fell to the ground convulsing and then went still and died. Ludmila, the instructor, ran to him.
Can I ask what vaccines had he had?
COVID.
Oh.
Russia had it first.
Oh yeah.
No,
Well,
it was any vaccine. All of them are bad.
It's all vaccinations are.
Oh God, yeah.
Bad.
No, they're all terrible. Like smallpox, we
Yeah.
could have fought that.
I just
off.
yeah.
we could have just beat it.
Natural immunity wins.
Yeah, that's
always.
why smallpox is like not around anymore because
Yep.
natural immunization.
Well, they took the milk pox or whatever, the cowpox, milkpox.
And use it as a
And
Dan,
use
do
it
you
as a
think you could
vaccine.
beat smallpox? Like if you got smallpox today, do you think you could beat it?
You wouldn't get it.
Like, am I going 12 rounds with it? Or?
Actually, would he get it?
No, we put it in his body. It exists still.
No, I have a vaccine. Yeah, no, it exists now because
God,
people
stop killing our narrative.
don't vax their kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway,
but no, it was created because like a lesser version of it was injected.
yeah,
into people.
inoculation works. It's crazy.
But it's crazy how they found that out because they just took a bunch of homeless kids
Yeah,
And
we don't
started,
talk about
uh,
that, bro.
testing.
Look, history is I know we wanted to kill the ladder of bones thing, but history is the foundation of bones.
It's a foundation of orphans.
Yeah. Yeah, all that too.
Well, the bones make the orphans. Yeah. So
The
Lumia,
orphans make the bones.
The orphans make the bones. What is an orphan but a bone factory?
what's a bone to an orphan?
An orphanage is a bone
Speaking
factory.
of which, I got my Yeezy socks on right now.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder what those were.
They're easy socks. I haven't brought myself to throw them out.
They don't burn your skin
Who
as a Jewish man?
cares?
Yeah, no,
What?
that's every time I'm like, I'm wearing easy socks.
Look, man,
people are like, oh,
Kanye West is a piece of shit. I'm still going to listen to Graduation. I don't care.
yeah, no, I'm the same
Yeah.
way, and also I'm not burning anything I bought.
Right.
That's
You know
stupid.
what really
That's
gets
like
me
the
pumped up
assholes
at the
that were-
gym? It's Yeezus. That fucking album goes.
It's fine. Yeah. And you know what? That doesn't.
It's like wasting ammunition on shooting a Yeti cooler because they didn't renew with the NRA.
I'm still gonna
Right.
watch
You're an
Mel
asshole.
Gibson movies. All right.
Yeah,
Like,
no, dude, Patriot rules.
so does Apocalypto.
That's got to be our next Patreon.
We really
I
should
think.
kibosh. We should just watch that as friends. We should probably kibosh watch-alongs.
No, we need. Well, if we're gonna watch as friends, we'd be saying the same shit we would say on the Patreon.
That's fair.
We
Yeah.
might as well just have extra Patreon content.
right.
No, fair. Okay. All right. Ludmila sees Sasha convulsing and runs to him and orders the rest of the group to continue.
What?
Like, just, hey, keep going. I'll catch up.
That's what?
Yeah.
Like he's fine. It's fine. You guys keep walking. The boy having rabies and bleeding from his eyes will.
So
Sometimes
Think
you need
for-
some alone time.
think
you
for
know?
a minute, though.
Some me
She's probably
time.
just saying, give us space. Like, go ahead. Like, let me figure this out. I'm the person leading the hike. I've known this person the longest.
I wouldn't be down with that.
You want to be right there?
He's bleeding from the eyes
You want to watch it?
and foaming in the mouth.
She's probably telling them to create distance in order to keep those people calm, too. That's part of it. You have to remain calm.
Man, I don't know about that.
Remaining calm is a bad move.
I think I would be curious as to why I was being withheld from seeing something like that.
Rob's parents are like, don't put the fork in the outlet. Why?
I actually think that it's bad to not let your child put a fork in the outlet, and not because I'm
You're
like
not going to stick very well with your New Year's
explore
resolution.
yourself. It's just because like look, think about all the generations that have stopped children from putting forks in outlets, and we're creating like beta cuck
Exactly.
bottom twinks.
Okay, we
By-
got to get off the
Like, no,
the
there's that whole
anti-narrative.
scenario.
I'm just saying, you need to let children stick forks in outlets.
I mean, we often refer to learning about pain with a child putting his hand on the stove.
Yeah,
What idiot kid puts his hand on a stove?
All the time.
exactly.
I don't know which kid did it, but like we reference it all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. What idiot kid puts his hand on the stove? The idiot kid who now has a mutilated hand and won't breed because
Well, no,
of his
that's only if
mutilated
they're
hand.
superhuman and have that disease where they can't feel pain.
Like Unbreakable.
Well, then he'll breed fine. But I'm saying if my child
Samuel L. Jackson
is
very
that dumb,
breakable.
I don't want him to breed. So I let him have free range. I put knives on the floor. And
Have you heard about these things? The kid parks where it's like power tools and shit like that. Not power tools, but like hammers and like nails and shit. It's like a danger park to like,
good Lord, no.
but it kind of makes sense where it's like figure it out.
There's
Yeah.
a candy van.
Yeah. Like it's just like, dude,
I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, you do want to stop your kid, obviously, from jamming a fork in a socket, but you don't want to stop your kid from eating shit.
yeah.
You know
the
what I
worm.
mean? Like, you don't want to stop your kid from falling hard.
No, they got to learn from something.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to, like, there are times when I'll catch him from falling when I'm like, this will be catastrophic.
You also don't
but-
react, right? If you react,
Oh,
the
if they
kid
cry, they cry.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah, you got to just be like,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's just, guys,
I actually saw there was a family in Hawaii. The kid fell off the pillbox down the hill, and like, don't react. Don't react. He'll be fine.
yeah.
He would cry
You go
if anything's broken. He'll cry.
You go to the bottom of the hill and you'll find him.
so yeah.
That's a true story.
Is it really?
Well, he didn't fall all the way down, but he fell. He fell
How old?
like 5.
Nice. He's old enough. He's fine.
he's rubbery. Yeah. So Ludmila was extremely distraught, trying in vain to get Sasha to regain consciousness. The remaining group did not get far, however, before they heard Ludmila cry out. As they turned
Same way.
and ran to her, they saw she was having the same symptoms as Sasha. Her eyes and nose were pouring blood, and she was frothing at the mouth. She convulsed also and then collapsed on top of Sasha.
Sounds like the devil.
Tatiana, who had gotten to Ludmila first, was the next to collapse. Grabbing at her throat, as though she couldn't breathe, she slowly crawled over to a nearby rock and bashed her head against it. until she passed out.
Huh.
Victoria and Timur both ran while Denise hid behind a rock. Valia stood unable to move, having just watched 3 of her close friends seemingly die within only a few minutes. Both Victoria and Timur collapsed while running and died in a similar manner, throwing up blood and clawing at their own throats and also tearing their clothes off. Realizing they were the only ones
Seems
left,
like a bad time to be horny, but
it's just us here now.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're going to die, let's do it. But they died too fast.
Yeah. Realizing they were the only ones left, Valia and Denise ran to each other and hurried away from the site of their friend's death.
They kiss?
Maybe. It's not said in the report, but
Right. It's just implied.
reports are questionable.
I assume the 2 people taking their clothes off were like, we always said we'd do it if we were dying. But they just
They died too quick.
died too fast.
It wasn't long, however, before Denise collapsed as well, convulsing. Scared for her life, Valia ran and left her friends behind.
Smart. At that point, you know.
So you're saying the person that said go ahead was actually right the whole time?
Yeah, now I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Leave no man or woman behind.
unless they
For
all-
the birds.
Unless they all
I
start
don't
bleeding
know.
from the eyes and
Yeah,
frothing
bleed from the eyes and mouth.
Yeah.
Whatever once. Shame on you.
Bleed from
Do it a
the
second
eyes.
time. Well,
Third, fourth, fifth. Shame
Yeah.
on me.
Shame on me.
Yeah.
So Valia only had a tent and the clothes on her
you
back.
can't be
for
fooled
supplies.
again.
He was one of our better presidents for just comedy.
Just for quotes, yeah.
No one's better than 45.
9/11 never happens. It's awesome.
Probably.
Oh my God. It would have been such a chill time in America.
Man,
Too bad he made that happen.
no Obama. Think about it.
Could have had third term Bush.
John Edwards.
No, it would have been
Gore.
probably just John McCain.
Wasn't Gore?
Actually, it probably would have been McCain after Bush.
Yeah, it would have been McCain. If 9/11 and desert stuff didn't happen, it would have been
Probably.
McCain.
Oh, 2000 though, he ran against Gore, right? So if he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gore probably not going
I
again.
mean, Gore won.
No.
Gore won.
No.
Gore won.
No.
It's fine. You can say
Your
that.
state said no.
And Anton Scalia, who just threw it out immediately.
State said no.
Yeah. No, we didn't make incredibly difficult for old people ballots, but
That's your fault for being old.
Yeah.
it was. No, for
Think
sure.
about all the shitty, like, green efficient homes we'd be living in right
God,
now.
it'd be so terrible if we got ahead of all that in 2000. It would have been so bad.
We're fine.
Anyway, Valia ran down the mountain until she was certain she was far away from the tragedy, enough so that she had just witnessed that under adequate tree cover, she set up the tent for the night and fell asleep. So
I'm surprised she slept, to be quite honest.
when she woke up and realized she was still alive, Valia knew immediately that she would need supplies if she was going to survive alone in the wilderness. The problem was that she'd have to return to the site of her friend's deaths to retrieve them.
Right. Got to scavenge off the fucking bodies.
Oregon Trail style, yeah.
Yeah. This is 93.
93.
Good Lord. I mean, like, I'm
And
alive.
she's 17.
Yeah, I'm alive at this point.
I am too.
Yeah, we're 2.
This chick
Yeah.
will be my babysitter.
Yeah.
What are you, like 12 then?
17, actually.
Yeah.
I was there.
Rob was the 8th.
I knew her. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were pen pals.
They hooked up on the mountain.
Oh, it was like a Euro trip situation.
Yeah. I was supposed to be on that trip.
You thought it was a
but-
dude, but
You thought Val was a guy because Val Kilmer, because the 90s.
Right,
But
and
it was
I- and I had-
Valia.
that had excited me, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
Knowing she had no other choice, Valia made the trek back up the mountain, retracing her steps. When she reached the site, she saw that none of them had moved from the spots where they had fallen.
Oh, the dead ones hadn't? The
Yeah.
dead ones hadn't moved?
Well, in the Dyatlov Pass incident,
that supposed to
they're
be
all
weird?
over the place.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Knowing they were all deceased, Valia quickly took the supplies she needed from their bodies and left, following power lines that were on the mountain. For 4 days, she
What? There are power lines on the mountain? They're like, so what? They're like next to civilization?
It's a very safe hike.
Yeah.
But the problem was that the storm had gotten them off path a little bit. So they were a little bit more in wilderness.
Can I already
Also,
guess what's going to happen?
why don't
They're
they
going to
just-
blame the power lines.
Why don't they just use the power lines to zip line down?
It's a great question.
Well, you can't zip line because it keeps going, but you can just kind of monkey bar it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Just don't grab the wrong one.
Or you just become like Jamie Foxx in Spider-Man 2.
For 4 days, she followed the power lines down the mountain, hoping someone would find her, until she found a river and began to follow it. By the end of her 4th day, she was found by the kayakers and brought to safety. So on August 10th, a group of kayakers noticed something in the tree line as they were paddling down a river at the base of the Kamar Daban Mountains. Valia was standing alone and looking at them. The kayakers got out of their boats.
Just standing there, like looking distantly, like
so the spot,
dead-eyed at them, like
the spot she was actually at on the river was pretty rare to have kayakers go down.
Okay.
She lucked out. So the kayakers got out of their boats, and when they approached her, some sources claim she was covered in dried blood. The girl became hysterical, trying to tell the kayakers her story. Eventually, she identified herself as Valia Utachenko and said that she had been hiking with 6 others. Horrified, the kayakers took Valia to the nearest police station where a report was filed. And the report is like
what you just read.
what I just read.
Okay.
And she won't talk about it.
Sounds made up.
Sounds sus. She killed 6 people
Yep.
on a mountain.
But that's,
Mass murder.
we'll get to it.
Okay.
Despite the report to police, no official search was conducted until the 24th of August, 2 weeks after the incident. It took 2 days to find the bodies using helicopters. An autopsy report concluded that they had all died of hypothermia, except for Ludmila, the tour guide,
Right.
who had suffered a heart attack. They all had signs of bruised lungs and protein deficiency due to malnutrition, and that was listed as a contributing factor in their deaths.
See, protein's important. Not only to build muscle.
Yeah.
To not die immediately.
Need that teen.
Yeah. The deaths were ultimately ruled to be
Was it a
accidental.
pound or a gram a pound?
It's a gram a pound, yeah. If you want to overdo it. It's really 0.75, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or it might even be 0.6 now that they're figuring it out. But like
Just be safe. Play
yeah,
gram
it's
a
always
pound.
but then you go on like bodybuilding, it's like 2 grams a pound.
Even though
And
I
now
think
you're
you can
just
only
shitting.
you can
It's-
only
you can only
really
process, like,
process
30
50 every 2 hours.
It's I think the 50 gram shots just you're shitting it out. Like 20 grams of it or whatever. The deaths were ultimately ruled to be accidental. Compared to the testimony of wow, I'm getting a little slurry from these hard AFs. Compared to the testimony of Valia, this ruling is strange and is central to many of the theories in the case. And now we're going to get to the theories.
Okay.
Because
What accident bruised lungs? What? Protein deficiency? They were
it took them 2 weeks to go search.
right.
Yeah. Also, you were saying they like smashed their head against rocks and
One
stuff.
lady did.
One was just like
And I can see being in like dire pain. It's like, you know what? I'd rather just do this myself than try to
I
drag
actually
this
don't
out.
think I could bring myself. I
bash
could
my-
bring myself to kill myself if I was in horrible pain.
But not that way.
the rock smash,
No.
I don't know about.
I'm, the gambler in me will never kill myself.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hold out.
Oh, I could hit rock bottom. Never gonna do it.
I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm gonna hit soon.
Right.
Something
It's
will pay
just
off.
belief in yourself. Like even at your lowest.
Like,
you're
even
solid
if I
and
was,
like,
even if we were at war with China, and I was captured in a Chinese fucking prison,
You were McCain.
and they were like, "You can kill yourself, or we'll torture you to death." Like literally, and they put a pistol there. There would be literally like a minute where I'd be looking around, like waiting for the A team to burst in to save me.
They
Oh,
tie you down.
That's
and
how delusional
they
I
put a
am.
bamboo plant underneath you,
Yeah.
so it grows through you.
oh, that's fun. They give you a gun with a bullet. I'm taking one dude out.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm doing it just for sick revenge. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be fun.
Like even if I don't kill him, it's like, fuck you. Now you have to kill me fast. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, we're going to get into the theories now. So the mysterious nature of this incident has rightfully caused many theories to be put forward by those who have researched.
And they're
it.
all wrong.
Probably. As with any strange event, these theories range from aliens and the supernatural to actual scientifically valid explanations.
Whoa.
There's no place for that here.
Yeah. So we're going to just kind of dive into
But
it.
also, why are you kind of not including aliens under
Because
that
the
umbrella?
alien thing is like death rays.
Will you be including Christ?
Yeah, the Jesus explanation comes down to.
Well, the devil as well.
And
Because
yeah,
Well,
it sounds like they needed.
two sides of the same
Jesus.
coin.
well, the Jesus and the devil were drinking in Siberia, as they do,
had a bet.
and they were like, "Devil's like, I bet I can make them all froth from the mouth."
Jesus is like, Well, probably, but do it. I guess.
Yeah,
if
it
you want.
sounds
They'll
like
still
one of
believe in me.
his go-tos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God is always taking the devil up on that bet.
It's I guess infinity's boring.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, he was almost
That's really
on
the
his
best
level, you
the
know?
best case for why anyone would create life is that you're bored.
What do these weird little finite creatures do?
You need something to look at,
Yeah.
right?
Well, have you ever played like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah.
I want to get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You can't.
You can't.
I would
can't get off Mr. Bones' Wild Ride.
any one of those games. I would constantly try to kill the characters.
Yeah. You don't finish the roller coaster.
No,
Whatever.
Or you make the line incredibly long.
Yeah.
people start shitting themselves
In line.
in line, or you do the Zoo Tycoon and you just make the cages so that the lions can jump the fence,
Yeah.
and then you block the entrance.
Yep.
Oh, so we do God things. We love doing God things.
Yeah, in a simulated environment, which we live in.
Yeah. Oh, GTA. Man, I really just want to get up on top of the skyscraper and snipe people.
Yeah, we're the supporting characters.
That was
guys.
I have a buddy who listens to the show sometimes. Who we were really high in high school, and we were playing GTA 3, the GOAT GTA.
I like Vice City.
No, it's the GOAT GTA.
No, actually, San Andreas is the
no,
goat.
San
3
Andreas.
is the GOAT.
San Andreas
It's
is
the
the goat
one
because
that-
you work
San Andreas
out.
was the one that changed the game.
No,
It is.
3 is the one that changed
San
the
Andreas,
game.
you can like
that's what I said.
customize your
Did
character.
I not say that?
No, you said San Andreas was.
Or I'm sorry, 3 is the one that changed the game.
GTA 3 is the one that
For
changed
sure.
the game. That's why 3 is
But
the
San
GOAT.
Andreas, you can customize your character. You
I
work
get-
out. You
I
eat.
get-
Fat.
I get
Can't
all
get that.
I get all that, but 3 is the one that changed the game. And we were just going around just killing people, like not even playing a mission or whatever. And I was like, it's crazy. Like these things, like they are kind of alive. Like they're
Yeah, it's so detailed too that literally I can kind of walk through New Orleans from like Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar Games, or I feel like if I go to LA, I kind of understand
The layout of
the layout
town.
of LA because
Yeah.
I've played San Andreas so long.
Oh, no. My dad had a friend that was playing Vice City that lived in Miami. And even with Vice City and it being pretty rudimentary,
yeah.
he was like, wait, I know this street. And he like
Mhm.
took a turn. He's like, I know this deli.
Yeah.
They put real things in.
Yeah.
But also there's real people in there that you're killing.
Yeah, you told your friend that and he was high.
Did he cry?
He was high, and he was like, dude, he was like, please stop. Like, that's going to fuck with me so bad. And I was like, no, man, they're alive.
They
like,
are.
They're on some basic
What is
level, they're alive.
consciousness but electrical?
I'm gonna go home and
impulses
play
in the
Grand
brain?
Theft Auto
There you go.
5, which is
The
awesome.
realists.
I actually
It is awesome.
Yeah,
I
that's a
replayed
great game.
3 recently on my phone, and it was a blast.
They take so long between games, though, and there's a reason. Like
No, it's been 10 years.
6
It's
is gonna
been
come out
10
in, like,
years.
It's like
5
writing
years.
like 8 novels.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just so it's like $550 million at each game.
But the
Right.
development cost, like, I
6 is probably going to be
did you
close to
see
$1
the
billion.
tweet today that was like, if you are creating a game right now, you are developing it for the PlayStation 6.
But you're also making your money back immediately.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
They
Yeah.
make their hand over fist,
Well,
especially with all the upgrades and like the.
the pay for play kind of
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. No, I mean, you can make all the online missions for sure. But anyway,
They are truly like they're better than any movie that comes out now.
theory number 1. The hikers saw something they shouldn't have. Ooh.
What the Russians were like, no.
Yeah, right. This theory proposes that perhaps the hikers walked in on some sort of Russian military experiment, much like the Dyatlov Pass theory.
Here's why I already don't buy that.
Hold on, let me read this and then we
Okay.
can talk about that. Their deaths were subsequently covered up by the police and the medical examiner. It's true that the group had deviated from the usual route through the region, so it's possible that this change of plans led them to a group of experimenters that weren't prepared for visitors. Despite this, there are some problems with the theory. Number 1, the Kamar-Daban Mountains are a very public area.
Right.
Why hide things there? It doesn't make any sense. It would
Like
be
doing military experiments on like the Smoky Mountains or something.
yeah, it's like, oh, God, it's right outside of Boonton, North Carolina.
Right, yeah.
Where a college campus is, you know? It would be incredibly easy for people to stumble upon the experiments. And with hiking, you deviate sometimes because of conditions. Then there's also Valia. If it's a big military cover-up, why did she survive? It doesn't seem possible for her to have escaped. It's a pretty open region, too. even
and
if
no
they-
one escaped from Dyatlov.
Yeah. Even if they decided not to kill her after escape and like keep her hush-hushed, why would she have given the story she gave? That's so insane.
Well, maybe they just didn't get to her in time, and she gave that story, but it sounded insane. So
They're like, oh,
who's going to
trauma.
believe it? Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's fine.
Okay. But still, it just doesn't make sense that there's a very populated hiking trail and just a couple kilometers off.
Here's why I
secret
don't believe it
experiment.
was a military experiment. Because the Soviet Union just collapsed, and what is Russia doing with their military?
They're
in
selling
1980?
shit off.
Right. They're not
piecemealing
experimenting. They're not fucking making new shit.
The Russian military is a chop shop for the highest bidder.
Well,
Right now.
it still is, apparently.
Yeah.
But
Well, war dogs, right? They just all those Eastern European countries that were former Soviet.
Satellite states.
It's essentially just giant warehouses of just old ammunition.
oh, it's insanity. Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
yeah.
That's a great movie.
I watch it regularly. It's
I do
awesome.
too.
It's a
Because
good
the soundtrack's great. You got Miles Teller, Jonah Hill.
movie. Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
it's a
like-
good movie.
just kind of a good movie, like before you go out movie. Just gets
It's
you hyped.
kind of like Wolf of Wall Street, but guns.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Same vibe. So, theory number 2, a nerve agent killed the hikers. Many people have pointed out that the symptoms described by Valia are consistent with death by chemical weaponry, specifically nerve agents.
Actually, I got a new theory from this. Not quite chemical warfare, but the permafrost.
Oh, it popped, cracked open, and
Cracked open the
some old
permafrost.
disease just melted them.
Yeah.
So the frothing at the mouth and
Is
convulsing.
that new? Did I just come up with something?
That hasn't been proposed yet.
You're welcome.
That is my favorite global warming theory. It's like, we don't know what diseases we're going to unleash.
Well, that was the whole thing with the.
Whoops.
Did we
From the permafrost.
did we mention the mammoths
From a
on this
lab
episode or
in
last
Wuhan?
episode?
Right.
Yeah.
The mammoths would somehow save the permafrost.
Oh yeah, that is one of the things. It's like they would
By stamping them down.
Yeah. They.
So we got a Jurassic Park mammoth.
Yeah,
Which
sounds
don't
actually
just
fake as
fart
shit.
Giant.
Yeah.
We talking about methane expulsion. What is a fucking mammoth fart?
Right.
That's all bullshit. It's liberal bullshit, Jake.
Actually, cow farts is liberal
That
bullshit.
is like the most liberal bullshit.
That is
there
actual
is.
like complete bullshit.
Yeah. No.
And also,
If
if
there's
you want to get
anything,
rid of
it's
the
Mass
cows,
production of everything.
Right.
what would be better than eating cow to get rid of the cows?
Well, you have to grow the cows to eat them.
Right. Well, we're not going to get rid of them, but also just the methane emissions is bullshit.
Guys, we don't believe in this.
None of
we
us
don't
do.
believe in it.
Yeah.
No. I love steak.
It's so good. We both talked about before the show the steaks we made.
I made the greatest steak.
I
I've
made a
ever
grass-fed steak because I like the beef, and I know it's the worst kind.
I only eat corn-fed beef.
Gross.
It's better for you.
It's much better. The sugar content is. I will actually just sometimes jam sucrose, like inject sucrose into it.
I'll do it straight into my veins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn syrup.
Just to avoid
Pure corn syrup.
my insulin spiking.
Yeah. Corn syrup enema once a week.
So the frothing at the mouth and convulsing in particular match death by a strong nerve agent. It's pretty similar. This death also matches with the autopsy results. Since contact with nerve agents can cause respiratory distress, the bruising of the lungs can be a sign of death by nerve gas as well.
It literally sounds like the death in The Rock.
Which is VX?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It sounds like VX gas, where they're
Yeah.
like they lock the guy in the fucking chamber and he's like,
yeah. So cardiac arrest
Is that how
also
the rock
caused-
got so big?
different rock.
Oh,
And you know that.
I know. Nick Cage is great.
Yeah.
cardiac
And Sean Connery, of course. That is
No, we're not talking about the rock.
No, we're doing
No,
a-
no, we're not.
No,
we're not.
but
We're not talking about the rock.
We're gonna do a live watch of The Rock.
Yeah. The greatest.
Historically irrelevant.
Well, it's within our
Other than
range.
just being the greatest
No,
movie
no,
in
it is
history.
the greatest action movie of all time.
I think it's the greatest action movie ever made.
So many good throwaway lines in that. Cardiac arrest is also caused by nerve agents, which matches Ludmila's death. The cause of death of the other hikers.
By the way, I saw this today. You know the difference between cardiac arrest and a heart attack?
what?
a vaccine.
God damn it!
Yes. Yes. I didn't kind of realize this. I kind of thought they were interchangeable until today. Like, I really didn't know this.
Well, heart attack is a blockage, and cardiac arrest is just your heart stopping, right?
A heart attack is essentially plumbing,
Yeah,
and cardiac arrest is,
mechanical.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. Once. Oh, no more blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go on?
Yeah, I just didn't. Not really the heart. It's not really the heart attacking anything. You know what I mean? It's more like heart thirst.
It's just a thirsty heart.
Yeah, it's a thirsty heart. He died of a thirsty heart.
You guys talk for like 5 minutes.
Are you about to shit
You
yourself?
gonna pee your pants?
No, I got below
Oh.
No, he's got a little runny nose.
Man, if that's not the most Jewish thing Jake's done on the podcast, my sinuses.
I will say, you're welcome, everyone, for my voice being back.
Yeah, it was brave of you to actually do the podcast.
It was actually
And do the one ad.
It was
read.
brave of me to read that fucking ad that I had to read. Poor Indochino. We need to do a make good on them, to be quite honest.
No, I think it actually it kept people from skipping ahead.
Buy Indochino. It's like a dead person. It's like, I look hot in Indochino.
I looked at the copy and I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh, I look so good in Indochino.
What are you trying to cut?
Do you want to? Are we
No.
still
Nah, we're just
Still,
going.
this is all.
this is gonna
we're
all
keeping
go
it
Come
on,
on, baby.
Okay, cool.
That's showbiz.
Love it.
Podcasting, baby. People love behind the scenes content.
Yeah, this is inside podcast baseball. So the cause of death of the other hikers could very well be hypothermia, even if they were exposed to a nerve toxin, since they could have been knocked unconscious or fallen into a coma.
Right,
And
so
then
they didn't die. They were just...
they were knocked out, but then they suffered from exposure.
Right.
A YouTube video speculates that the specific nerve agent that killed the hikers may have been a Novichok gas, which is very popular in discussion right now after what's his name, the opposition leader in Russia. They think he got Novichoked, right?
Okay.
You remember how he was in the hospital for a while?
Yeah.
Withering away, throwing up black bile and shit like that.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you don't fall out a window, I feel like they don't want to kill you.
Oh, well, Novichok's a pretty common way, apparently, that they do it.
Well, they did radiation to the guy in fucking England a couple years ago.
Yeah, the teapot or whatever.
Yeah, but then with all the people now, they're just pushing them out windows.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what do you got to lose?
The amount of Russians that are falling out of windows right now is goddamn hilarious.
It's like the dictator's preferred method across dictatorships.
He fell out a window.
Yeah.
He fell out a window. Another one fell out a window.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even like in Africa, in Iraq, things like that.
Yeah.
They always fall out of windows.
In America, when you have a little too much money and you have some information.
Who fell out of a window here?
There was a guy that jumped out of a window not that long ago.
Oh.
I don't remember.
He jumped? Or did he fall?
He jumped.
SPF's still alive, though, so
For now.
for now.
I don't think he knows enough names. I don't think he really has intel.
I think that's
He actually looks like a useful idiot.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, he seems like you don't even have to kill him.
It's
He
not
doesn't
even.
have to
It's not an Epstein
like, does he look
situation.
killable to you, really?
No.
Like, does he look like he knows anything?
No, nothing he says on stand will be good.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he's a face for.
There are Gen X and Boomer CIA people who were so excited for millennials to get money to manipulate the dumbest possible people.
Oh, how do you honeypot them? With fucking anything.
Anything.
And also,
Anything.
SBF, you can't honeypot that man. Did you see his girlfriend?
Right.
Or you can really easily, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. There's not a lot of
She
slush
turned
fund
on
for
him.
that.
That's what he went down for. That woman.
Yeah, she flipped on him.
She's gross.
Yeah, she's real gross.
I don't want to
You're
talk
no,
about crypto freaks.
You're
man.
allowed to say she's gross and she's a freak because she's a criminal.
Yeah, she is a criminal.
You're allowed to body shame when they're criminals.
I agree with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
Right.
As soon as you start committing crimes, you're open.
You're on
You're a
the
target.
chopping block. Yeah.
I tell my wife that all the time. She got an MIP, and I'm like, your body's disgusting right now.
Your body's not a
Like,
that
I know
make you
you're
look fat?
I know
Of
you're
course.
pregnant, but you need to get it back. You
It's
need
also
to get it
fucked
tight.
up you're pregnant and got an MIP.
She should be working
Yeah,
out while
I know,
she's pregnant.
right?
Yeah.
I was like, why do you have an ID that says
MIP
you're?
is minor in
I know. I'm like, I know. I was like, why do you have why do you have an ID that says you're 17?
What's the, no, the
It's
baby,
fucked up.
I immediately looked
fucked
at
up.
DUI.
it's
like,
because she's
yeah.
drinking and she's pregnant, so the baby is in
He's in
possession.
possession. Yes.
Yeah,
Courtney Jr.'s drunk as shit.
Courtney Jr. is very drunk.
So Novichok gases are a class of nerve agents created by Soviet Russia up to 1993, which is up to 1993 in quotes, by the way, which is the year of this incident. They were thought to be the deadliest nerve agents to exist, being 10 times more deadly than VX gas and 20 times more deadly than sarin gas.
Love how gas is literally illegal to use in war. we don't stop making it.
Yeah.
Just
but
in
it's
case.
illegal.
And by the way, gas, as World War I already taught us, a bit fickle.
The thing about gas is it fills the space it's released in.
And it is subject to things like wind.
And yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Again,
Rob. I'm
World
glad you
War
brought
One
that
was
up.
Okay.
easily the one war I would never want to be involved with.
Uh,
If you picked me out of time and placed me in the war, I don't want to be in World War One.
I think there are other wars you'd rather be in less than World War One.
No, 'cause
I think there's parts of World War II you'd rather be in less than World War One.
Yeah.
So the nerve gas theories have some issues.
World War II though, you're getting laid.
Not in the Pacific, you ain't.
It's true. Well, maybe.
No.
Mm.
You're in some filthy jungle in hell.
Yeah.
It is the worst parts of Hawaii. Think about the worst part of your trip to Hawaii. Multiply it by a fucking million.
I was disappointed I didn't see a single deadly animal in Hawaii.
There aren't any.
No.
It's paradise.
Humans.
It is. There was
Humans
like
are the
no. I was
deadliest.
expecting like a snake or anything. No.
No, there's nothing. In fact, you were on Oahu, but on Kauai, there's not even like bugs really, because the island is overrun by chickens and they ate all the bugs.
It's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's chickens everywhere.
I need to move there now. I fucking hate bugs.
Can we please just move the operation to Hawaii?
Yes,
I'm down.
Yeah.
Like that should be the end
Like
goal.
deeply down.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's figure that out this year.
Like it's cheaper to live in Honolulu than it is in Austin.
I believe that fully.
I was looking at rent.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Housing might not
Housing's
be.
going to be similar.
No.
I did hard money and we focused on Hawaii.
I did hard money.
You see grocery bills tend to.
Yeah,
Even it
but
up.
still,
I mean, like eggs are expensive. I guess tuna's cheaper.
you're not spending as much. I mean, gas is more expensive, but you're not driving as far.
You're not driving anywhere, really.
No.
Like, I mean, barely anywhere.
So
It evens out.
the nerve gas theory has some issues. The first and very common one with all of these is that Valentina, or Valia is her nickname. That's what I've been calling her. She survived. She was
Right.
near most of her friends when they died and even went back to the location without suffering a similar fate. The second is that no one was there to release the gas, so where did it come from?
Well, I don't think the second part's a problem.
So
Well, whoever
actually,
smelt
it's
it,
not, because we're going to get into another alternate theory about it.
Okay.
Jake,
So
whoever smelt it.
there was a lot of Novichok testing in the mountain region at the time. They were testing it there.
Of course. On what? Fucking goats?
I have no fucking idea. But here's the thing with nerve agents.
Do goats even live there?
Yeah, they live everywhere.
Nerve agents are soluble in water, and they can take up to 4 months to evaporate. They are made of heavy particles that often float close to the ground, and the stronger ones can be hazardous in a location where they were used long after they were first released. So the rainstorm that they had encountered could have washed a strong nerve agent like VX or Novichok that had been tested at most 4 or 5 months prior in a more discreet site up the mountains, down the hill to where they were.
Or the permafrost.
Or the
It was there weren't mammoths there to stamp the permafrost down.
Yeah. As the morning sun evaporated water from the rainstorm, Sasha could have gotten unlucky and walked over a highly contaminated spot, causing almost instant symptoms. He may have absorbed the toxin through either his skin or by breathing it in. When Ludmila ran to him, she was exposed to the same toxic location. Tatiana, Victoria, and Timur were the first to reach Ludmila, but quickly ran away. This delayed their deaths slightly. Since Valia did not get close to Ludmila, she was not exposed to high levels of the toxin. Denise was also not impacted by high levels initially, but also Denise is the guy, by the way. It's probably Dennis.
Do you think that's the system of the down song?
No, I think it is
toxicity?
Denise. Like Denise.
Denise.
Yeah, Denise.
Dennis.
His decision to hide and crouch down was probably his downfall since he got lower. Small levels of toxin were
The
floating.
low man wins.
Not with
Not
nerve
today.
agents. Yeah.
Not today.
Small levels of toxin were floating close to the ground, and he probably breathed them in. He was exposed to less than the other 5, which is why his death was more delayed, but it ultimately caught up to him. Russian police, suspecting that runoff from the test could be the cause of deaths, waited to start their search in order to ensure that the agent had mostly evaporated before sending a recovery team to cover
This
up the testing.
sounds hyper plausible to me. This sounds like what happened.
However, even with this reach of a theory, Valia may be being set apart by not getting too near the epicenter of contamination. It's still unlikely that she could have gone without being exposed at all, like the way gas expands.
Okay.
But it's kind of like any type of supernatural event. They usually blame a gas leak.
Swamp gas, UFOs.
You're at a hotel and carbon monoxide or
Gas bubble popped up.
It could just really be that that's what happened. The odds are just astronomical that she didn't get killed.
When I gave my wife herpes, I was like, I think what happened is someone
Snuck
with herpes took a shit in the toilet, and
herpes
the
sprayed
poop was so
I have taken a shit in
methane
your toilet.
filled
Yeah.
that I think a little bit of methane popped up.
Oh, Dan, is
on
that
my-
why all of our house parties have a stinky toilet?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
It's called a Crohn's.
Well, you're the one serving fucking charcuterie. What do you want him to do?
I know. It's so mean.
Not horribly shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I don't
Here's
eat the
processed meat and
cheese.
cheese, baby.
Yeah.
Well, the
Like,
cheese
yeah.
clogs you up. I don't eat the cheese.
just the meat just runs through you.
He just eats the prunes off the cheeseburger, just lays a brick.
Just goes fucking bananas.
So third theory, Valentina's story is not credible. That's a very plausible. She's the lone survivor, right?
Right.
Yeah, she's
So-
a murderer.
She undergoes a traumatic experience.
No. She killed him.
You think she killed him?
Killed him.
That is a theory. I'm not even entertaining it. She's a 17-year-old girl around a bunch of
Yeah, it
male
doesn't
dude
sound
hikers.
accurate.
Yeah, it's just no.
No one has any stab wounds or bullet wounds. Shouldn't kill him.
Yeah, no one has even like,
Nah, she's just like that dude that was found in the Poconos this weekend.
What?
huh?
The Idaho guy.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Well, he did that shit.
Dude, did you hear the
that
guy
shit.
that like profiled BTK was his teacher?
Sick.
And he
Yeah.
he did like a bunch of like Reddit posts asking
He did a
how
bunch
it
of
would be
anonymity. Yeah,
if you committed the crime.
it's
What would it feel like?
basically this theory though is the trauma is how she explained it. Mentally, she suffered a psychotic break.
It was all in her head.
Yeah.
It was Shutter Island.
It was all in her head. What?
Well,
It was all a dream, baby.
like it's possible that the autopsy report's right and she just like gaslit herself into believing something horrible.
So the
happened.
autopsy report's correct that they all just
Died of hypothermia exposure, things like that.
slowly,
Yeah.
and she made up this whole like crazy.
We had a
thing.
great breakfast and then we
Right,
went down
right.
the mountain and it was fine.
Oh.
It could have just been bad.
That now actually makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
It's not a good ending.
Did they find blood trails out of the body's eyes? Because if they were bleeding out of the eyes, or if they were flowing out of the mouth, that would be immediately apparent.
well, not 2 weeks later.
Yes, it
It would
would.
have washed away.
Mm.
Actually, no. I
Wouldn't
mean,
freeze over.
Yeah, your eyes would still be bloodshot. It doesn't say anything about that. I don't have anything on that.
Yeah, I think she
I think
hallucinated.
they all just died randomly, and she wanted to be interesting.
Well, I'm going to skip ahead to the fifth theory then,
okay.
because that's fun.
These people never existed.
Well, it kind of goes into what you're talking about, which is this was also a foraging class.
A what?
A foraging class. So
I don't see the connection.
Ludmila was a known forager who taught the art to her students. It's possible that one of the hikers found some mushrooms and
Some bad ones.
added it to their
Bad trip,
breakfast,
man.
which wasn't the correct variety. After eating their breakfast, the effects of the mushroom poisoning began to take hold as they were walking, causing them to hallucinate and be sick. A common hallucination caused by psilocybin is to see people's eyes warp, and I can speak to this personally.
Oh,
Your eyes can, like when
drug
you're
guy.
when you're looking at people on like high doses of acid, or not even high doses, just good doses of acid or mushrooms, their eyes can get bigger. You can see them sort of like drifting.
Right.
But also, trips are affected by circumstance. And so set and setting is like a big thing with doing hallucinogens. So if you're having a bad time, the trip is going to be bad.
Right.
So she might have eaten less of the mushrooms than everyone else, started hallucinating, seeing their eyes bleed,
Yeah.
seeing them foam at the mouth, when really she was just having a bad time and everyone's dying from hypothermia and exposure. And one of the things too, she might have gotten a lesser dose of the poorly picked mushrooms, because at really high doses of psilocybin, you can go into convulsions, coma, things like that. I mean, it's not it's a very safe drug in low doses, but anything at a high dose can kill you, right? So you can go into cardiac arrest, hyperventilate, go into a coma, things like that. So seeing people cry blood could be a byproduct of terror, basically.
Oh, wow. Sounds fun. Let's do shrooms.
Shrooms are fine. Doing a fuck ton of shrooms when you thought you got a bountiful harvest of mushrooms for food.
Like, what a wonderful breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, so many calories. We're going to be able to walk all day.
No, and it's you have a lethal dose of like the specific mushroom up there, I think is the one that looks like the Mario mushroom. I forget what it's called. It's red and white though.
Perfect.
And actually that one's a lot more prone to paranoia too. Like normal American mushrooms, like psilocybin, magic caps or whatever, they're brown. Not going to fuck you up. Like, I think it's like Amanista or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. Valentina, again, could have survived by eating less mushrooms, having a tolerance, or even just a genetic disposition to being less affected. So that could have been the explanation for that. And then the last theory is contaminated water. It's kind of like the nerve gas theory. So the theory also relies on the rainstorm bringing toxins down, but instead it proposes that the hikers drink the toxins in their water. Lake Baikal, which sits above the mountains they were in, is it's a well-known toxic waste dumping ground.
Of course it is.
Yeah, because
first off, it's Russia,
Yeah.
so they don't fucking take care of their water goddamn at all.
Yeah. If this waste was washed downstream and into the water during the rainstorm, the hikers could have accidentally drank deadly toxins with their breakfast. The contaminant could have been one of the water-soluble nerve agents we talked about. Mm-hmm. Valia may have survived by drinking less or getting her water from a different location than the rest of the hikers.
Or built-in immunity.
Or just built-in immunity for being in fucking Russia.
Water.
Yeah.
Just way fucking shit water.
Most highly toxic substances take
That's
a
why
few
I only
minutes
drink
to
out of the tap.
Out of the tap?
Mm-hmm. Especially during Austin water boil notices.
That's why I only drink out of the toilet.
After you use it?
Anytime. Before, after, I got to build my fucking immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of rude that we just have like clean water sitting in a porcelain bowl and kids in Africa have none.
Right, you can't waste that.
Yeah, and we shit in
Can't do it. Yeah.
We shit in the clean water.
We shit in clean water.
We shit in clean water.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But America's awful.
Yeah, no. God,
It's the worst.
so little opportunity.
It's the worst place to live on
Every
earth.
time I take a shower, I let that bitch run for at least 15 minutes.
Oh, Gerard Carmichael, that's the best thing. He's like, oh, California's going to run out of water? Where do you think Steven Spielberg gets all his ideas? The shower.
Yeah.
They're never going to let that happen.
And then also, if I'm in a hotel, 30 minutes.
Oh, good Lord.
If I'm not paying that water bill,
In a hotel?
it's going hot as fuck, long as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
steaming.
God.
I don't want to be able to see the mirror. Not see myself, see the mirror.
I'm turning the shower on, and I'm going out and getting like a cup of coffee. I'm grabbing a snack.
You're preheating the shower at that point. Yeah. Not like warming it up. You're preheating
It's
it.
an environmental nightmare.
You wanted an even 350 in there. Yeah.
And they never run out of hot water. It's a fucking
Ever.
hotel.
Interesting.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
So
What are they hiding?
Everything.
just asking questions. So yeah, she's refused to talk about it ever since. People have found this woman and asked her about it, and she's like, why would I talk about this?
Right.
Because she killed them.
Because she lies.
No, but like it's kind of sucks because the families will never get closure from it. Unlike like it kind of like Diet Love, but a little different.
At this point, you don't need closure.
There is the theory of like hypothermia and all that, but it's just like her story is so crazy because she's the only one that survived it. So it's like Diet Love with a lone survivor.
I mean, it's never the fun answer.
No,
right?
it's like Diet Love is more than likely like that weird wind avalanche.
Yeah.
Like it's like wind, percussive wind.
So
or
what was the
something like
least fun answer?
It was, I think it was trauma. Trauma is the least fun answer. Like,
Okay.
she had to find a way to like create.
They
a story.
died normal and she made up a story. In her head.
like the Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah. That's what happened.
You think that's what happened over the nerve gas?
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my story.
Which is
She killed them.
Permafrost.
Permafrost.
Yeah. Ancient diseases.
I actually kind of like the mushroom theory just because, like, I could totally see a foraging class being like, oh,
Yeah.
we got mushrooms. And, like, Into the Wild, you know how,
He dies like an asshole.
it was
Yeah.
vertical instead of horizontal stripes because he's holding the
The wrong
mushroom the wrong way.
berries.
Yeah.
Then he
Or the
died on the
berries.
bus.
Yeah. You know how many people have died trying to get to they had to remove the bus
Yeah, it's insane.
because they tried to get to the bus and
You should
Yeah,
leave it.
you would think
Those people deserve to kind of.
it's kind of like the show The Bear, right? It pretty much shows how much of a hellhole owning a restaurant is.
Yeah.
Same thing with Into the Wild. It's like, yeah, he dies. He doesn't survive. He sucks at being a survivalist.
No, he was a fucking
So will
Emory.
you.
He was an Emory educated trust fund kid.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Moral of the story: you will die.
That bus is a monument to your stupidity.
And other people's that try to fucking mecca their way into that shit. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Anyway, we're all pretty buzzed, and I think that's a good time to stop. Thanks so much for listening.
We got to go
Hold
a
on.
little longer so I can drive
Hold on.
home.
Oh.
Need the Hitler?
Oh, who's Hitler? Russia?
I think the witness is Hitler. I think she's a liar.
Dan?
I think the class in general,
The
This
mountain climbing class?
fucking
or the
dumbass
Not
class.
even mountain climbing, hiking.
Hiking class.
Yeah.
On what is like a basic bitch?
Mm-hmm.
This is like people dying on a bunny ski run,
This is
right?
like-
No, this is people dying,
At Big Bear.
yeah.
Yeah.
or like even some dumber.
Palm Springs hike to the Safeway.
Going to fucking Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Joshua Tree's a great example. Yeah. All right. What'd you learn, I guess, too?
Russians are liars.
Always have been.
Always will be. Kind of a useless civilization, but we'll
We'll
You
get
know.
to that eventually.
Yeah.
And we have.
get to it again.
We'll keep kicking that
Keep
fucking
hammering.
horse.
Check out patreon.com/softcore history for Dan's awesome episode on New Year's Eve traditions around the world and through history,
And
As well
our
as-
own resolutions.
and our own resolutions, which only Dan
And
talks about.
this week, too, our episode from last week where we watched Band of Brothers.
Yeah, we watched the Christmas episode of Band of Brothers. So
I just
to speak.
couldn't upload it because I forgot to drive when I went to Hawaii.
Yep.
So you get 2 episodes this week.
Go to Softcore History, check out our merch. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you get 15% off at the store. Dan sent me the list of new subscribers so I can get them on the discount.
Patreon.
And-
Rob writes a blog Monday
Yeah.
through Friday.
Yeah, didn't do it over Christmas. Sorry.
Everyone needs a break.
Christmas.
We're
He's got Courtney Jr. on the
Starting tomorrow, we'll be back up again.
But
And-
there's so much content already there.
A
Like
lot.
you have hours.
a lot.
You have days maybe.
It's all evergreen. And I can't stress this enough. All of our content is evergreen.
Yeah, we don't
Yes.
Like all of it.
We're not doing
I'm
timely jokes.
I am not making timely jokes about Dana White slapping his wife in a Patreon blog. Like I'm not doing that. Like, you know
We're
what
not
I mean?
doing
Like,
that in an episode.
yeah, it's,
Despite what Rob just said. Yeah.
Well,
I'm saying I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
either way, go subscribe to it. And as for us, for Dan Regester and Rob Fox, I'm Jake Goldman.
And you should go leave a review on Apple and Spotify. But you also got self-served.